So the Leafs signed Bobrovsky to a 3-year deal, $7 million per year, and that's just fucking dumb. I'm sorry. I understand that there's some excitement with some Leafs fans. We finally have our goalie. He's in the AARP plan. Come on, man. You signed a goalie turning 38 years old and expecting him to be your savior? That's crazy. Some Leafs fans, well, Ed Belfour and Curtis Joseph. Hey, great little runs there for Toronto, but did they win anything? No. Ross could maybe have a nice little run there for Toronto, but looking at the roster with the Leafs, do I really view them as a Stanley Cup contender? Abso-fucking-lutely not. The Leafs lit up the second most goals last season in the NHL. They are not good in their own end. They're not good in transition. This team sucks defensively. Now, the Florida Panthers, due to injuries, they were the 5th worst team in the NHL, and you saw a massive dip in production from Bobrovsky, who had an .870 save percentage, and now he's going to a worse situation. Now, Leafs fans, well, we signed Radish and he's going to be better. Sure, you got some pieces that could possibly be better with the Leafs. Now, I do think you massively overpaid a man like Radish in that trade, and also signing him to a 8-year fucking deal for $8.5 million when that type of production from him on the back end is an outlier and not what he's consistently proven to be giving you over the years. But sure, defensively, he is an upgrade and possibly gives you that number one shutdown defenseman that they've never really had, because Morgan Rielly in no world has ever been a number one defenseman. But looking at the totality of the roster, this team will have to have a complete change in philosophy and commit to a 200-foot game, and I just do not know if they have it in them. When I look at the decor, they're not the worst, but they're sure as fuck not the greatest. They're solid. And then when you look at the forwards, you have the stars of the Matthews, the Nylander, young players like Knives. You have Tavares still doing his thing. You have a young player like McKenna, you took number one overall. You can't expect him to immediately hit the ground running at the NHL level. I mean, who knows? Maybe he can. Maybe he can really help propel the Leafs to another level. But I'm leery to ever put the weight on a young player like that because they still have to get used to the pro game. And outside of McKenna, I like that the Leafs got Roslovic. That's a 20-plus goal scorer and maybe a little bit more with the right line combination. But this Leafs team is not good enough defensively to justify paying Bobrovsky that amount of money. This isn't the Bobrovsky of a few years ago. This is an older version of him, a goalie that you're going to be paying until he's in his 40s. And I think it's a little bit crazy to expect Bobrovsky at this age to carry you to the promised land. Now, who knows? Maybe the Leafs will have a different philosophy, fully commit to a 200-foot game. But I think with signing Radish, does that make them instantly a lockdown type team? No. This Leafs team has not had a commitment to a 200-foot game for the past few seasons, so I'm not going to magically assume things are going to change overnight. Again, I do understand bringing in Bobrovsky. He brings you some experience in net. Last year, due to injuries, Toronto kept having to shuffle goaltenders. But it is a little bit worrisome to me that you're expecting a guy closer to his retirement age to have to carry the load there in Toronto instead of being a nice complementary piece. Now, maybe Stolarz and Bobrovsky can split games. That is a possibility. Maybe Stolarz can rebound this year and you're giving Bobrovsky rest. But if that's the case, you still massively overpaid a guy to be a tandem goaltender, in my opinion. I don't think the Leafs are going to do really anything crazy this year. Maybe they'll be back in the wild card hunt, but I don't think this Bobrovsky deal has put them anywhere closer to what Leafs fans want them to do, and that's win a Stanley Cup. But I'd love to know your thoughts. Let me know down below in the comment section. Am I just a massive hater? What are your thoughts? See you in the next one.